Okay guys, when we left off yesterday, we were about to start this problem. So kind of to recap, remember we said quotient was the answer to a division problem. So we're going to be using quotients. Sometimes those are going to be called common ratios as well. So we're going to use those quotients or common ratios to help us find any missing side lengths. Okay, so in this problem, it says triangles ABC, EFD, and GHI are all similar. The side lengths of all triangles all have the same units. And it says we're missing 4 different side lengths, C, D, E, and H. And the first thing I want you to do is locate where those side lengths are. So those are the 4 missing side lengths on this problem. So what I notice about these triangles is they're all isosceles triangles. And what that means is the long sides are equal. As we can see here, they're equal. And since this side down here is going to be shorter, I know that number for C will have to be less than 4 because that's obviously shorter than the 2 longer side lengths. Okay. All right. Since we know that those 2 side lengths on an isosceles triangle, the ones on the sides, are always the same, it's easiest if we start down here with the smallest triangle, because this triangle tells us a lot of information. So if this side length over here is 12 over 5, then that means H would also be 12 over 5 since it is an isosceles triangle. So pretty easy, we already found one of them. We're going to use this small triangle to find all 3 of the other missing sides on the other triangles. And we're going to use the common ratios to do that. So in our previous table, we always put the longer side over top of the short side, right? So in this case, we're going to take 12 over 5, which is the long side, and divide it by the short side, which is 6 over 5. So you're going to use your calculator, 12 ABC5 divided by 6 ABC5. And you should get 2. So that's the common ratio that I can use to find all the missing side lengths. Okay, so on this small triangle ABC, we're finding the side length of C. Okay, so we know the long side is 4. We don't know the short side. What I know about the short side, though, is that it's going to be smaller than 4. So I'm going to use the common ratio of 2. And since I know that 4 has to get smaller, I know division makes a number smaller. So I'm going to take 4, the side length that I know, and I'm going to divide it by the common ratio. And that's going to give me the short side that I don't know. So I'm going to take 4 divided by 2. So the short side that I don't know is going to be 2. Now if I would have accidentally multiplied 4 times the common ratio to get 8, I would have known that my answer doesn't make sense because 8 should not be bigger. That side length of C should not be bigger than 4, okay, because it's shorter. All right, we're going to use the common ratio again to help us find E and D. So I already know the short side here. So to get the longer side, I have to get a bigger number than 5. So I'm going to use the common ratio, and instead of dividing, I have to multiply because I want to get a bigger value. So when I take 5 times 2, I get 10. So the side lengths that I'm missing, and that one is 10. So using the common ratio, I have found all the missing side lengths. Now this one was pretty easy because we were dealing with isosceles triangles. This next one's going to be a little bit tougher for us to figure out. So this says find the missing side length. So the first thing that I want to do on this is I want to label my side lengths as long, medium, and short. This will kind of help us to determine which ones go together. So in this triangle, this first one on the left, I know that 12, just by looking at these side lengths, is going to be my longest side. And then looking at the other two side lengths, I can tell that A is bigger than B, so that's going to be our medium side length, and B is going to be our small side length. I need to do that same thing on the other triangle. So 8 is definitely my long side length because it's longer than the other two. I can tell that C is in between 2 and 8, so that's going to be my medium. And then 2 is going to be my small. Okay, so now I can tell my ratios. I have to use 8 and 2 from this triangle to get my common ratio to find out my small side length over here. So guys, remember, long to small ratio can only help me find my long and small side lengths. So if I take 8 divided by 2, my common ratio for long to short is 4. Long divided by short. So I can use the number 4 to find out any long side length or any short side length. I cannot use that to find out medium. Okay, I cannot use that to find out a medium side length. All right, so I know that 4, so that the side length of B has to get smaller than 12. So I'm going to take 12 and I am going to divide it by the common ratio of 4. And 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3. So that tells me my side length over here is 3. Okay, guys, so after I printed these, I realized that I didn't give you enough information on one of these triangles. So I need you to add in the number 4 for the side length of M. So I should have told you that in the beginning. That's my fault. I had a typo error. But now I'm going to be able to find my other medium side length. So in order to find the medium side length, I have to find a common ratio that I know. So I'm going to use the long side length and the medium side length ratio. So I'm going to find the side length ratio of long to medium. So 8 over 4. My side length ratio that I can use every time if I'm trying to find the long to medium is going to be 8 divided by 4, which is 2. So that means I can use 2 to find the medium side length using the long side length in the first one. So I have to use the number 12 because I used the long side length in here in the first one. So 12, I know, is going to have to be longer than my medium one. So I'm not going to multiply 12 times 2 to get my side length of medium because that would make the number bigger. I want the number to be smaller since the medium side length is smaller than the longer side length. So I'm going to take 12 and divide it by the common ratio of 2 to get my missing side length of 6. All right, we're going to get a bit more practice in. So I'll do one more example with you, and then I'll see if you can do one on your own. So number 3 says, find the missing side length. So they told us that this side length is 36. This is the one we're missing. This one is 9, and this one is 6. So notice that they didn't tell us this bottom side length. And that's okay. They don't have to tell us that. Okay? these would have been the long side lengths. So I know that 9 in this case would be the medium side length because 6 is smaller than 9. So that would mean 36 is the medium side length over here, and what we're missing is the small side length. So what we need to do is we need to get the common ratio. So we need to get the common ratio of this triangle for medium to short. Well, the medium number is 9 divided by the short number of 6. So 9 divided by 6, the common ratio of medium to short is 1.5. So since I know the medium side length over here, and I don't know the short side length, I know that I'm going to have to divide 36 by my common ratio to get the side length, the short side length, since that number has to get smaller. So when I type it in my calculator, if I accidentally type 36 times 1.5, I get 54. I know that answer does not make sense because this number has to be smaller than 36. So all I have to do is go back and divide instead. And I get 24. So the missing side length, x, is equal to 24. Guys, this is all about finding the common ratio, just like we did in our first table, and using that to find missing side lengths. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and I want you to work out problem number 4. And I want you to see if you can figure out the 2 missing side lengths on this triangle here without me helping you. And then when you're ready to check your answers, just hit play again and I'll go over the answers for you. All right, so I'm going to label what I know in this first triangle. So 10 is obviously the small side length, 18.2 would be the medium, and 22.8 would be the long. So that means over here, 6 is going to be the small side length, B is going to be the medium, and A is going to be the long. So I have to use the first triangle to find a common ratio. Well, one common ratio that I need is long to medium. So the long number is 22.8. The medium number is 18.2. So 22.8 divided by 18.2 is not a pretty number, right? So if I don't want to use that one, I don't have to. Let's find the long to short ratio, because 10's a prettier number. So long to short is 22.8 divided by 10. So my long to short ratio is 2.28. So if you ever get a weird decimal like that, go ahead and stop and switch it up. So I know the short side length over here is 6. I need the long side length. So it has to be bigger than 6. So I know that I have to multiply using that common ratio. 6 times 2.28, I get 13.68. And guys, getting decimals, as long as they terminate and they're nice decimals, that's okay. All right, so then I got to go back to my original triangle, and I have to find the ratio for the long to medium, or for the medium side length. So I'm going to go medium to short, because I want to make sure I use that 10, because I'm going to get a better answer if I use the 10. So 18.2 divided by 10, I get 1.82 for my common ratio. Guys, I'm going to run out of time on this video, so when this one's done, you're going to just flip to video number 2 to finish up the rest of these notes.